How's it going, YouTube? As you can see, I've put the tank on the stand and everything came together perfectly. It was one of the few projects I've worked on where my plan was executed exactly as I intended, and I'm just really happy with it. I mean, it just looks so great. And even the video is not doing this thing justice. I just could not be more happy with how it turned out. You know, I've had low iron rimless tanks before, and this is not a low iron tank, but I mean, the clarity on this thing is just, I'm just not seeing any of the green tint that I'm used to seeing with a normal style tank. I did have to go in and do a lot of razor work to clean up the silicone around this tank. From the factory, it was pretty rough in areas, but cleaned it up pretty nice. We got the VCA random flow nozzles on my returns. These things are not cheap. They're 3D printed. I don't remember the exact price. I think they were like between $20 and $30 a piece, so not cheap. But I have them on my BioCube and they do work. The flow just alternates in like a circular pattern. So I figured I'd get them on my return. Just another way to get variable flow in this thing. Overflow box looks nice and clean. See, I got my spacing between the top of the rim and the top of the box. Pretty good. I didn't want it right up against it. I wanted a little wriggle grip. We've got about 1/8 of an inch there, so should be pretty nice. You see my little spill containment around the side. See, I've got a nice little gap all the way around the tank. So if you were watching my previous video and you didn't quite understand what I was talking about with this, when you dip your hand in this tank, or when you're pouring fresh water in it, any kind of interaction with the surface of the water, over time, even with salt creep, you'll get water that kind of drips down the side and it'll hit the bottom here and stop. Whereas if I didn't have this, or the tank was flush with the side of the tank, it would drip down and start damaging the finish on my aquarium. So glad I did that. You see the back? That's just a little taste of things to come. We have all red PVC for this tank, and we're going to use Schedule 80 gray fittings. So red, gray fittings. So my drain lines come down, come over, and the returns will come out as well. I've got true union ball valves for all of this. This is where electrical will come out for the lights and the wave makers. I still have to drill another hole in the bottom with the hole saw for the 2 power cords that'll power my power strips. I have to touch those up with a little white paint. But that's what we're working with. Looks pretty good if you ask me. Looks really good. More to come, guys. More to come.